Purpose is the foundation that aligns you with reality because it gives you a clear sense of direction in a world filled with distractions and uncertainties. When you understand your God-given purpose, it brings clarity to your decisions and helps you focus on what truly matters. Purpose is not something you invented, it's something you discover. It is embedded within you by the Creator, designed to guide your actions, shape your relationships, and define your priorities. Without purpose, life can feel like a series of disconnected events, leaving you wandering without a sense of meaning. But when you connect with your purpose, everything begins to fall into place. Challenges no longer feel like random obstacles, they become opportunities to grow and align more closely with your calling. Success is no longer measured by worldly standards, but by how well you fulfill the role God has uniquely designed for you. Purpose anchors you in the truth of who you are and what you are meant to do. It prevents you from being swayed by fleeting trends or external pressures because you have a deeper understanding of why you exist. This understanding enables you to confront reality with confidence and resilience. Instead of avoiding or denying the difficulties of life, you embrace them as part of the journey toward fulfilling your destiny. Living in alignment with your purpose also allows you to make decisions with greater discernment. You begin to recognize what is worth your time and energy and what is not. This clarity helps you navigate the complexities of life with a sense of peace and determination. When you are connected to your purpose, even the mundane aspects of life take on a new meaning because you see how they contribute to the bigger picture. Purpose is the bridge between who you are today and who God created you to be. It connects you to the reality of your identity, your potential, and your destiny, empowering you to live a life of significance and impact. When you live with purpose, you are not just existing, you are thriving, fully engaged with the reality of your divine assignment. Faith is often misunderstood as a denial of reality, but in truth, it is the power to face reality with courage and hope. Faith does not ignore the challenges, obstacles, or pain that life presents. Instead, it acknowledges them while choosing to believe in a higher truth. It is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, but a confident trust in God's promises, even when circumstances seem unfavorable. Faith operates within reality but transcends it. It recognizes that while human limitations are real, they are not absolute because God's power is limitless. Faith equips you to see possibilities where others see impossibilities and to take action grounded in divine wisdom. It is the bridge between the visible and the invisible, enabling you to partner with God in bringing His will to pass on earth. Living by faith also requires humility and honesty. It means admitting where you are weak or inadequate and trusting that God's strength will be made perfect in your weakness. It does not mean ignoring your responsibilities or refusing to plan, but it does mean surrendering control and allowing God to guide your steps. Faith calls for a balance, a willingness to do what is humanly possible while trusting God for what is beyond time, for what is beyond human capacity. Moreover, faith is not passive, it demands action. Believing in God's provision requires you to prepare for it. Trusting in His promises means aligning your decisions and behavior with His word. Faith is active engagement with reality, not an escape from it. It empowers you to navigate life's complexities with a sense of purpose and assurance, knowing that God is at work even in the most challenging circumstances. In the end, faith is not a rejection of reality, but a higher perspective on it. It acknowledges the struggles of life while affirming the victory that comes through trust in God. Faith is what enables you to face the facts, confront your fears, and walk boldly into the future, confident that God's truth will prevail. It is not ignorance of reality, it is the conviction that reality, when placed in God's hands, can be transformed for His glory and your good. Acknowledging where you are is the starting point for any meaningful growth or transformation. It requires honesty, humility, and courage to take an unfiltered look at your current circumstances, your strengths, your weaknesses, and even your failures. Many people struggle with this step because it can be uncomfortable to confront the truth about themselves or their situations. However, growth is impossible without first recognizing where you stand. Acknowledging your present state does not mean settling for less or giving up on your aspirations. Instead, it's about understanding your reality so you can chart a path forward. Just as a GPS cannot guide you to a destination without first identifying your current location, you cannot move toward your goals without knowing where you are starting. This level of self-awareness allows you to make informed decisions and take deliberate actions aligned with your purpose. It also involves accepting responsibility for your life. Blaming circumstances, other people, or even past mistakes can keep you stuck, but taking ownership empowers you to change. Recognizing where you've fallen short is not about condemning yourself, it's about learning from those experiences and using them as stepping stones. Every mistake or setback has something to teach if you are willing to reflect and grow. Where you are also requires faith. It means trusting that God can work with you right where you are, no matter how messy or imperfect your situation may seem. In the Bible, God consistently met people at their point of need, whether they were in a pit, a desert, or a place of doubt. What matters is not where you are, but your willingness to admit it and invite God to lead you forward. This process is liberating because it frees you from the illusions or pretenses that can weigh you down. Pretending to be somewhere you're not, either emotionally, spiritually, or materially, only leads to frustration and stagnation. Being honest about your reality creates space for authenticity and transformation. It allows you to align your actions with your truth and focus on what truly matters. Acknowledging where you are is not about staying there, it's about using it as a foundation for where you want to go. It's the first step toward change. The moment where clarity replaces confusion and hope begins to take root. When you embrace your present reality, you position yourself to grow, thrive, and step into the future God has prepared for you. Vision is a powerful force that drives progress and its purpose, but it must be firmly rooted in truth to be effective and sustainable. A vision that is disconnected from reality becomes a fantasy, leading to frustration, disillusionment, and wasted effort. True vision begins with an honest assessment of your current circumstances, your capabilities, and your limitations, while staying anchored in the promises of God and His plan for your life. Being rooted in truth means acknowledging both the potential and the challenges within you and around you. It requires humility to accept where you are and wisdom to discern the possibilities ahead. This balance ensures that your vision is not only ambitious but also attainable. A vision grounded in truth inspires hope while keeping you anchored in practical steps necessary for its fulfillment. Truth also protects your vision from being distorted by pride or unrealistic expectations. It prevents you from chasing dreams that are disconnected from God's purpose for your life, or from trying to achieve success by shortcuts that compromise your values. A truthful vision aligns with God's word, reflects His principles, and is fueled by a desire to glorify Him rather than merely achieving personal gain. A vision rooted in truth also embraces the process. It recognizes that achieving great things often requires perseverance, discipline, and patience. There are no shortcuts to lasting success, and truth reminds you that progress takes time. This grounding helps you endure setbacks, adapt to changes, and stay committed to the path, even when it becomes difficult. Furthermore, a truthful vision includes accountability. It invites honest feedback from others who can offer guidance, encouragement, and constructive criticism. Surrounding yourself with people who share your values and are willing to speak the truth in love helps refine your vision and ensures it remains aligned with God's purpose. Vision rooted in truth is both inspiring and practical. It sees what is possible while fully embracing the reality of what is. It moves forward with confidence, not because the path is easy, but because it is guided by truth and sustained by faith. When your vision is anchored in truth, it becomes a powerful tool that not only shapes your future, but also impacts the world around you in a meaningful and enduring way. Embracing responsibility is one of the most empowering decisions you can make in life. It is the acknowledgement that your choices, actions, and responses shape your journey and influence the outcomes you experience. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for every problem or carrying burdens you were never meant to bear. Instead, it is about taking ownership of your role in your circumstances and committing to act with intention and integrity. When you embrace responsibility, you move away from a victim mindset. Blaming others, external circumstances, or even your past only keeps you stuck. Taking responsibility shifts your focus from what you cannot control to what you can. It empowers you to recognize your ability to make choices that lead to growth, change, and progress. This is a critical step in connecting with reality, because it acknowledges that while you may not have control over everything, you have the power to shape your response to anything. Responsibility also requires self-awareness and humility. It involves being honest about your strengths and weaknesses, owning up to your mistakes, and being willing to learn from them. This level of accountability is not always easy, but it is necessary for growth. When you take responsibility for your errors, you open the door to correction, growth, and transformation. Embracing responsibility also aligns with biblical principles. In the parable of the talents, for instance, Jesus highlights the importance of stewarding what you've been given. Each servant was responsible for their portion, and those who took responsibility were rewarded for their faithfulness. This shows that God values diligence, accountability, and a willingness to act wisely with what He has entrusted to us. Responsibility is also a pathway to freedom. It liberates you from the limitations of excuses and procrastination. When you take ownership of your life, you no longer wait for others to change your circumstances or for perfect conditions to arise. Instead, you take proactive steps to create the life you envision, knowing that God will guide and strengthen you as you act. Embracing responsibility is about living with purpose and intentionality. It's a declaration that you are not merely a spectator in your own life, but an active participant in God's plan. It requires courage, discipline, and faith, but the reward is a life of growth, impact, and alignment with the divine purpose for which you were created. By taking responsibility, you honor God, empower yourself, and inspire others to do the same. Wisdom is more than the accumulation of knowledge. It is the skillful application of that knowledge in ways that bring about good results and align with God's principles. While knowledge involves gathering information, wisdom goes a step further by discerning how, when, and why to use that information effectively. It transforms what you know into actions that produce growth, understanding, and positive change. Wisdom is rooted in truth and guided by a sense of purpose. Having knowledge without applying it is like owning a tool but never using it. It serves no real benefit. Wisdom takes what you learn and uses it to navigate life's complexities, make sound decisions, and respond to challenges with insight. It helps you see beyond the surface, weigh the consequences of your choices, and prioritize what truly matters. One of the key aspects of wisdom is its practical nature. It is not abstract or theoretical. It is deeply connected to real-life situations. Wisdom shows you how to apply principles in a way that works for the circumstances you are facing. For example, knowing that patience is a virtue is valuable, but wisdom teaches you how to exercise patience in difficult situations, turning it from a concept into a practice. Wisdom also requires humility. It acknowledges that you don't know everything and that there is always room to grow. This openness allows you to learn from others, seek advice, and rely on God for guidance. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us to trust in the Lord and lean not on our own understanding. True wisdom comes from recognizing our dependence on God and allowing His Word and Spirit to guide our decisions. Another important element of wisdom is discernment. Not all knowledge is beneficial, and not all opportunities are worth pursuing. Wisdom helps you filter through the noise of life, distinguishing between what is good and what is best. It equips you to set boundaries, make sacrifices, and focus your energy on what aligns with God's purpose for your life. Ultimately, wisdom turns knowledge into impact. It empowers you to use what you know to build relationships, solve problems, and fulfill your calling. It is the application of knowledge with love, humility, and integrity, ensuring that your actions reflect God's character and bring glory to Him. When you walk in wisdom, you live a life that is not only informed but also transformative, benefiting both yourself and those around you. Reality often challenges our comfort zones, exposing truths we might prefer to avoid and pushing us to face situations we'd rather ignore. It is rarely easy, but it is always necessary for growth. Discomfort is often a sign that we are encountering areas in our lives that need attention, change, or healing. While it can be tempting to avoid or deny reality, doing so only delays progress and prolongs the struggles we face. Acknowledging uncomfortable truths is an act of courage. It means being honest about where you are, what you are facing, and what changes need to happen. Whether it's recognizing a personal weakness, Addressing a broken relationship or admitting that your current path is not aligned with your purpose, facing reality requires humility and resilience. It is in these moments of honesty that true transformation begins. Discomfort often serves as a catalyst for growth. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, our character and faith are developed through challenges. God uses difficult situations to refine us, teaching us patience, perseverance, and reliance on Him. Embracing the discomfort of reality allows us to learn the lessons it holds and equips us for greater responsibility and purpose. Reality can also be uncomfortable because it demands action. Once you see the truth, you are faced with a choice: remain as you are or take steps toward change. This often involves risk, effort, and sacrifice, which can be daunting. However, avoiding action only keeps you stuck in the same patterns, while embracing the challenge moves you closer to your goals and God's plans for your life. Moreover, reality is not the enemy, it is a mirror reflecting what is, so you can work toward what could be. God meets you in the reality of your situation, no matter how difficult or messy it may be. He does not ask you to deny your struggles, but to bring them to Him, trusting that He will provide the strength, wisdom, and grace needed to overcome them. While reality may not always be comfortable, it is always beneficial. Facing it head-on leads to clarity, growth, and freedom. It breaks the illusion of false security and opens the door to genuine progress. By confronting reality with faith and courage, you position yourself to move forward, grow stronger, and fulfill the purpose God has placed on your life. Adjusting your expectations is a crucial step in living a fulfilled and purpose-driven life. Expectations often shape how we perceive reality, respond to challenges, and interact with others. When expectations are unrealistic or misaligned with truth, they lead to frustration, disappointment, and even bitterness. However, when they are rooted in wisdom, humility, and faith, they become a powerful tool for navigating life with peace and resilience. Unrealistic expectations can arise from many sources: cultural pressures, personal ambitions, or misunderstandings of God's promises. For example, expecting immediate success without effort or perfection in relationships can lead to unnecessary stress. Adjusting your expectations does not mean lowering your standards or giving up on your goals. It means aligning them with God's timing, principles, and the realities of life. This alignment allows you to pursue your purpose with clarity and patience. Adjusting your expectations also requires an honest evaluation of your circumstances and resources. It's about setting goals and making plans that are both challenging and achievable. When your expectations are realistic, you are better equipped to persevere through setbacks, recognizing them as part of the process rather than insurmountable barriers. Another important aspect is adjusting your expectations of others. People are imperfect, and placing unrealistic demands on them can strain relationships and lead to disappointment. Extending grace and understanding allows you to build healthier connections. It also frees you from the burden of unmet expectations, fostering an environment where mutual growth and trust can flourish. In your relationship with God, adjusting your expectations means trusting His plans above your own. It requires surrendering the need to control outcomes and believing that His ways are higher and His timing is perfect. This perspective transforms how you view delays, detours, and unanswered prayers, allowing you to see them as part of a greater purpose rather than obstacles. Adjusting your expectations also helps you cultivate gratitude. When you release unrealistic demands and embrace what is, you can better appreciate the blessings in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a mindset of contentment and joy. Ultimately, adjusting your expectations is not about settling for less, but about aligning your mindset with truth, wisdom, and faith. It positions you to approach life with greater resilience, humility, and trust in God's plans. By adjusting your expectations, you open yourself to growth, peace, and the abundant life God intends for you. Community is an essential part of life, providing a foundation that keeps you grounded, supported, and connected. No one was designed to navigate life alone. God created us for relationships, recognizing that growth and fulfillment happen in the context of community. A healthy community serves as a stabilizing force, offering accountability, encouragement, and shared wisdom that help you stay aligned with your purpose. Being part of a community reminds you that your journey is not solely about yourself. It challenges the mindset of individualism and fosters a spirit of collaboration and mutual support. Within a community, you are surrounded by people who can celebrate your victories, walk with you through struggles, and speak truth into your life when you need it most. Their perspectives can offer clarity and insight that you might miss when trying to navigate challenges on your own. Community also provides accountability, which is vital for personal growth. It helps you stay grounded in your values and goals by surrounding you with people who care about your integrity and progress. Accountability doesn't mean judgment, it means having others who lovingly challenge you to stay on the right path and encourage you to pursue excellence. Another powerful aspect of community is its ability to offer encouragement and strength. Life can be overwhelming, and there will be times when your own faith or motivation may falter. A supportive community uplifts you in these moments, reminding you of your potential, God's promises, and the hope that lies ahead. In turn, you also have the opportunity to be a source of encouragement for others, creating the cycle of support and inspiration. Community keeps you grounded by fostering humility. It reminds you that you are not the center of the universe and that your gifts and talents are meant to serve a greater purpose. It challenges you to think beyond yourself, cultivating empathy, compassion, and a heart for service. In spiritual terms, community helps anchor your faith. Worshiping, praying, and studying God's word with others strengthens your relationship with Him and deepens your understanding of His will. It creates a space where you can grow spiritually, learn from others' experiences, and see God's work in different ways. A strong community is a source of stability and growth. It keeps you rooted in truth, encourages you to stay aligned with your purpose, and reminds you that you are part of something greater than yourself. By engaging in community, you find strength, wisdom, and connection that enable you to thrive and make a meaningful impact in the world. God works through practicality in a way that combines the divine with the everyday. While God is capable of miraculous acts, His usual method of working in our lives involves practical steps that require our cooperation. Miracles may happen, but they are often accompanied by action, wisdom, and preparation. This blending of the supernatural with the practical reflects how God partners with us to fulfill His will in the world. In many biblical accounts, God directed people to take practical actions as part of His divine plan. When the Israelites were escaping Egypt, they had to follow a clear, practical course of action, crossing the Red Sea, following Moses, and walking through the wilderness. God performed a miracle by parting the sea, but He still required their obedience and willingness to act. Similarly, when Jesus performed miracles, He often gave instructions that required a practical response, such as the act of dipping in the Jordan River for healing or feeding the multitudes with available loaves and fish. God's work is not detached from the real world. His guidance often comes through wisdom, practical insight, and the people He places in our lives. He uses our skills, resources, and efforts as instruments for accomplishing His purposes. It is through practical means, whether it's doing our job with excellence, investing time in relationships, or applying the knowledge we have, that we often see God's work unfolding in our lives. In our daily lives, practicality involves making decisions based on the wisdom and guidance we receive from God. It's about being good stewards of what He has entrusted to us. Whether it's managing our finances, caring for our families, or pursuing a career, God works through the natural order and our decisions within it. By faithfully following His leading and making wise choices, we cooperate with His plans. Practicality also requires faith. It is easy to overlook the everyday tasks as insignificant, but each action, when done in faith and with a heart committed to God, becomes a part of His larger purpose. God works through our diligence, our responsibility, and our perseverance. The small, practical decisions we make today can have a far-reaching impact tomorrow. Additionally, practicality involves preparing for what God has promised. Faith without works is dead. And often God asks us to take steps in preparation for the things He intends to do. We are to sow seeds, make plans, and put effort into what we believe God is calling us to do. He doesn't always deliver things in an instant, but He often works in partnership with us as we prepare ourselves and our environment to receive His blessings. God's practical work in our lives is a reminder that He is present in every area of our existence, not just in the spiritual extraordinary moments. By honoring Him in the practical aspects of life, we align ourselves with His divine purpose and become vessels through which He works to impact the world. Through practicality, God refines our character, strengthens our faith, and helps us fulfill our destiny in ways that are both grounded and extraordinary. In conclusion, the journey toward connecting with reality is a powerful and transformative process. It requires us to acknowledge where we are, embrace the discomfort that often accompanies growth, and adjust our expectations to align with truth. By grounding ourselves in the wisdom and strength found in community, and recognizing that God works through practicality, we can navigate life with purpose and clarity. We are called to live with faith that acknowledges the challenges of reality while trusting in God's sovereignty to guide us through them. As we remain committed to applying knowledge with wisdom, taking responsibility for our actions, and walking in the truth, we position ourselves to fulfill the divine purpose for our lives. May we continually seek to be grounded in reality, not as an obstacle, but as the fertile soil where God's plans for us can flourish.